When a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer calls out a NASCAR champion in front of millions, you don't just scroll past it. You stop, you read, and you watch the fallout unfold. Chipper Jones, one of baseball's all-time greats, stunned fans by stepping directly into one of the messiest moments in recent NASCAR memory, publicly criticizing Joey Logano after an explosive incident at Talladega. But the drama didn't stop there. 1 week later, Logano responded in the loudest way possible, on the track, and then the two went back and forth in a series of tweets that had fans across both sports picking sides. So what really happened between Chipper Jones and Joey Logano? And why is this feud more complicated than it seems? It all began at Talladega Superspeedway, one of NASCAR's most unpredictable and chaotic tracks. Joey Logano, the reigning three-time Cup Series champion, found himself at the center of a controversial team moment. During Stage 2 of the race, he was leading the inside lane with his teammate Austin Cindric running right behind him. What Logano expected was a push, a shove to help him hold position and maybe even win the stage. What he got instead? Cindric backed off, later saying he feared that pushing Logano harder could have wrecked not just them but half the field. Logano didn't take it well. In fact, he unleashed a profanity-laced tirade over the radio that was picked up live. And it wasn't just frustration, it was personal. Here's what fans heard over the broadcast. "Way to go, Austin. Way to go, you dumb FK. Way to effing go. What a stupid street. You just gave it to him. Gave a Toyota a stage win. Nice job. What a dumma. Put that in the book again." The rant went viral almost instantly. Fans, analysts, and even drivers had something to say, but one comment stood out above the rest, because it came from outside the NASCAR world. Chipper Jones, one of the most respected names in Major League Baseball and a known NASCAR fan, wasn't about to stay silent. He jumped into the conversation with a tweet that lit the internet on fire. It wasn't just a casual remark, it was a direct and unapologetic call-out of Joey Logano's attitude. Here's what Chipper wrote. "Congrats to Austin Cindric on his at Talladega win. Good teammates are hard to come by, boss. Remember that one of ours fed you on national TV, when in all actuality, you did everything possible to keep from wrecking him. Sometimes karma is glorious." Enjoy this one. In case anyone is confused, let me be clear here. At Joey Logano, the tweet had it all. Sarcasm, support for Cindric, a shot at Logano's ego, and even a subtle jab at how every team has a driver who thinks it's me first. It wasn't long before Chipper Jones and Joey Logano were trending together on X. And then karma, as Chipper put it, didn't wait long. Austin Cindric, the guy who kept calm and didn't take the bait, ended up winning the race. Clean, smooth, smart. Logano, meanwhile, initially finished 5th, but NASCAR disqualified him after the race for a spoiler violation. That meant his result was wiped from the books. The timing? Couldn't have been more brutal for Logano. It made Chipper's tweet look prophetic. Fans love the twist. The quiet teammate wins, the loud teammate gets knocked out, and a baseball legend is narrating it like it's a World Series comeback. But Joey Logano isn't the type to stay down for long. 1 week later, at Texas Motor Speedway, he put on a performance that reminded everyone why he's a 3-time champion. Smart racing, clean moves, perfect timing, Logano raced like a man with something to prove. And when he crossed the finish line first, the headlines practically wrote themselves, "Logano wins again," or just 1 week after his worst week in months. But what came next was unexpected. Chipper Jones, yes, the same Chipper who ripped into Logano the week before, returned to social media. And this time, it was nothing but respect. "Congratulations to Joey Logano, a HOF driver with a masterful win. This is what NASCAR fans expect from you. Hard-charging wins and gracious top 5s and 10s. Well done. It was classy, mature, a complete 180 from the previous post, but fans weren't sure what to make of it. Within minutes of Chipper's congratulatory post, replies flooded in. Some fans appreciated the sportsmanship, others, not so much. One user fired off, "You backpedaling after all that noise last week? Joey 3X will be a HOFer, and he's great with fans." Chipper saw the comment and responded without hesitation. Backpedaling, number appreciating a great race and sportsmanship. Hofers are always held to a higher standard and should be. In Chipper's eyes, it was never about personal beef. It was about accountability. He wasn't walking anything back. He just believed great athletes need to own both the good and the bad. And his message was clear. You can criticize someone and still respect them. Joey Logano didn't address Chipper's post directly, but make no mistake, he noticed. In interviews following his Texas win, Logano hinted at the drama, suggesting that people outside the sport shouldn't speak on things they don't fully understand. "That's like me saying something about baseball. I know nothing about baseball," Logano said. "That's like me saying something that he did something in baseball that was wrong. That doesn't matter." It wasn't a direct shot, but it was pointed. For Logano, it's clear that in-race decisions, team dynamics, and split-second calls can't be judged from the outside. And he made one thing obvious. He doesn't care much for outside opinions when it comes to racing strategy. While the media swirled around Logano and Jones, Austin Cindric stayed calm and collected. When asked about Chipper's support, Cindric was appreciative but didn't dive into the drama. "I mean, I know of him. I know who he is. I don't follow too much baseball, but to have someone like that, with eyes on our sport, a Hall of Famer, is really cool. Like I said already, the rest of it's a lot of noise, but it's cool to have someone like that behind me. But otherwise, yeah, definitely sounds like a NASCAR fan." As for the Atlanta Braves cap he's been seen wearing, no, well, the funny thing is that's Atlanta Braves hat, like my neutral hat that I just leave in my truck because I don't want to walk around advertising, "Hey, I'm a NASCAR driver if I can help it." So it's usually just the one, that, or the Colts hat that I snag in my truck. That one, Braves hat, stayed in the hat box out of respect for my relationship with my teammates. No theatrics, no jabs. Just a driver focused on racing and brushing off the noise. What started as a hot mic moment in the heat of a race turned into a rare and fascinating crossover between two sports. A NASCAR champion, an MLB Hall of Famer, and a team dynamic that cracked wide open in front of millions. In the end, both Joey Logano and Chipper Jones proved something. Logano showed he could respond the best way possible, with results. Chipper showed that even when you criticize a legend, you can still give credit when it's earned. The dust may be settling for now, but fans won't forget how this played out, because when two Hall of Fame careers collide, even from different worlds, the ripple effects don't stop at the checkered flag. If you love seeing worlds collide like this, NASCAR legends, MLB icons, and real, unfiltered drama, subscribe now and turn on the bell so you never miss a moment where sports and stories crash together. NASCAR's Texas Motor Speedway just delivered one of the most chaotic races we've seen this season, with drama that's still unfolding days later. At the center of it, a young driver who's quickly becoming one of the most controversial figures in the Cup Series, and a post-race moment nobody saw coming. The Worth 400 at Texas was nothing short of demolition derby status. The challenging 1.5-mile track with its notorious bumps between turns 3 and 4 claimed victim after victim, with a staggering 12 cautions throughout the afternoon. 10 drivers, nearly a third of the field, exited the race due to accidents. Joey Logano emerged as the unexpected victor after starting 27th, proving once again why he's a 3-time Cup champion with that sneaky ability to capitalize when chaos unfolds. But this story isn't about the winner. It's about what happened 31 laps from the finish when two drivers' days came to a dramatic end. Carson Hocevar entered Texas on a high note. The 21-year-old Spire Motorsports driver had just claimed his first career pole position, a significant achievement for the second-year Cup driver. But as the race progressed, he found himself battling in traffic, a far cry from the clean air he enjoyed at the start. On lap 237, disaster struck. Coming out of turn 2 in a packed field, Hocevar pushed Ryan Preece's number 60 Ford Mustang up the track and into the wall. Preece's car absorbed the hit, rebounded off the barrier, and turned back into Hocevar's number 77 Chevrolet. Both cars suffered heavy damage while collecting Cody Ware in the process. "These cautions just keep coming," the Fox broadcast team exclaimed as the yellow flag waved yet again. But the real fireworks were just beginning.
Back straightaway, crash. Preece hard on the wall with
Ryan Preece was having one of his strongest runs of the season. He'd climbed from 33rd to 14th in the first 80 laps and finished stage 2 in 4th place. He even battled as high as second at one point in legitimate contention for his first career Cup Series win. After an aggressive strategy call to pit early for fresher tires, an untimely caution trapped him a lap down. He was fighting his way back through the field when Hocevar ended his day. Released from the infield care center, Priest didn't hold back when speaking with Fox Sports reporter Bob Pockras.
I think I know who it was.
Yeah, who was it?
Yeah, I think it was a 77.
Okay.
It's all right. He just seems to be proving me right over and over again. So it's really fast race car. Unlucky on the pit side, and coming back through, and just got ran into the fence by somebody that has no respect for his equipment, and any other driver out there. So he'll have his day.
Those words carried weight. This wasn't just post-crash frustration, it was a veteran driver publicly promising retribution against a younger competitor. Now, here's where this story takes a fascinating turn. The typical script in NASCAR when a young, aggressive driver gets called out is predictable: deny, deflect, or double down. Ross Chastain faced similar criticism a few seasons ago and often responded with defiance. Earlier this season at Atlanta, Hocevar himself showed that same swagger when he declared, "We're here to win races, not be a boy band." But what happened after Texas? Something completely different. When approached for comment after the race, Hocevar didn't get defensive. He didn't make excuses. Instead, he did something almost unheard of in today's NASCAR culture. He took full responsibility. Hocevar said this in his post-race interview.
I apologize to him and his guys, same with my guys, right? It just got in there and started to slide up, and he got to the right rear, and I was already crossing somebody's wake and got tight from him on my door and the car in front.
Then the most surprising admission:
out of the gas and have wheel, and I just didn't predict to be in that spot, and to panic or to have to change directions. You have to predict it, and I just didn't predict that he would get there, if I'm being honest. And that's on me. I wrecked myself, right?
This wasn't damage control PR speak. This was genuine accountability from a young driver who could have easily blamed track conditions, aero push, or any number of factors. In a sport where admitting fault can sometimes be seen as weakness, Hocevar's response was truly remarkable. This incident didn't occur in a vacuum. There's history between these two drivers, with Priest having criticized Hocevar's aggressive driving style before. The comment that Hocevar was proving me right again hints at previous discussions or warnings. The 21-year-old Spire Motorsports driver has developed a reputation for being overly aggressive on track. In 2024, he was fined and docked points for spinning Harrison Burton under caution at Nashville. Earlier this season, incidents at Atlanta sparked criticism from high-profile veterans. Ryan Blaney blasted Hocevar over the radio after feeling wronged at Atlanta. Kyle Busch went even further.
Go tell that 77 he's done that same fucking move 10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole fucking field. I'm over him. He's a fucking douchebag. I'm gonna wreck his ass.
The Texas incident added another chapter to this growing narrative of a talented but controversial young driver still finding the balance between aggression and respect. The results tell a concerning story for the young driver. Despite flashes of speed, like his Texas pole, Hocevar has struggled with consistency. He's recorded 5 finishes of 30th or worse this season and 6 finishes of 24th or worse. His Texas pole run ended with a disappointing 24th place finish. With only 2 top 10s all year, the raw talent is clearly there, but mistakes keep undermining his results. Hocevar is showing speed. He won the pole for the race earlier in the weekend. That has to count for something. We know his raw speed is excellent. He still has to work on his overall racecraft and awareness in the Cup car, though. But will his reputation in the garage overshadow his potential? That's the question that now hangs over his young career. This Hocevar Priest situation highlights a broader tension that's always simmering in NASCAR: the push and pull between aggressive driving and earning respect. Young drivers enter the Cup Series with something to prove. They drive hard, use their bumpers, and sometimes ruffle feathers in the process. Veterans, meanwhile, expect a certain level of respect from newcomers who haven't paid their dues. A few years ago, it was Chastain in the hot seat. Before him, Joey Logano faced similar criticism early in his career. It's almost a rite of passage for aggressive young talents in NASCAR. Either they adjust their approach or they accumulate enemies. The difference here is Hocevar's unexpected accountability. By immediately taking responsibility rather than becoming defensive, he may have taken the first step toward repairing his reputation. While the Hocevar Priest incident grabbed headlines, it was just one dramatic moment in a race filled with destruction. Denny Hamlin's day ended in spectacular fashion when his car burst into flames after losing power in Stage 1. "Well, that was fun, fellas," he sarcastically told his team over the radio. Josh Berry wrecked from the lead after hitting the notorious bump between turns 3 and 4. "I hit that bump and got loose," Berry explained. "I don't know what I would do too much different. Obviously, in these cars, especially at a place like this, if you are going to be fast, it is going to be uncomfortable, and you are going to be on edge." Brad Keselowski's day ended in a multi-car pileup.
I was trying too hard and busting my butt. Looked pretty dumb.
You weren't the only one today. Why have so many people?
It's just the cars are right on the bump stops, and you're driving the hell out of them, and just when you step over, and that's what I did.
Perhaps the most heartbreaking moment came with just a few laps remaining. Michael McDowell, who had taken the lead and was fighting for the win, lost control while battling Logano and slammed into the wall. "Sorry, boys, I tried," McDowell said to his team over the radio as his shot at victory evaporated. When the dust settled, Joey Logano had somehow navigated through the carnage to secure his first win of the 2025 season and 37th of his career.
Now the sport changes so quickly. It's crazy how he can just ride these roller coasters, and just proud of the team.
With the NASCAR Cup Series heading to Kansas Speedway for the Advent Health 400 this weekend, all eyes will be on Carson Hocevar and Ryan Preece. Will Preece make good on his warning? Will Hocevar's apology defuse the situation? The stakes are undoubtedly higher for Hocevar now. His record at Kansas doesn't inspire confidence, with finishes of 20th, 24th, and 32nd since 2023, progressively worsening at the 1.5-mile track. An incident-free run could go a long way toward cooling tensions and repairing his reputation.